Please send that. All right. Okay. Looks like we're good. All right. Thank you very much for being here. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're having a great day. I'm just going to spend some seconds checking to be sure we're good on all the platforms. We're streaming, of course, primarily on TikTok, but we're also streaming on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We'll see how these platforms go, and hopefully we're able to reach more people with the message. All right, glad to be here. 1.3k likes on TikTok, that's good, but please, we can do better. Kindly power tap, share the live. Yes, we're not going to come on camera, but we have a lot to cover regardless of whether we're on camera or not. All right, or regardless of the fact that we are not on camera. And that's the better way to put it. So today we're going to be discussing why Yoruba said no to Azikiwe in 1951. Now, I realize that sometimes a number of these things that we share or on Tuesdays and Thursdays sometimes are things that we listened to before. But there's something I learned years ago that in reality, it's important to repeat certain things for us to get it. I mean, it's a natural thing. And I think I said to some people some time ago that years ago I learned something from one of my mentors. He said that repetition is the law of long and lasting. What's the word? Retention. Okay, is the law of long and lasting retention. So we're going to repeat some of those things, because I mean they bear repeating. But I'm glad we're here today. Let me change the image here so you see the topic right up here. 1 second, please. All right. So why Yoruba said no to Azikiwe in 1951. Before we get into the topic itself, please, we need folks to share and to like the live, regardless of where you're joining us, so that you're on YouTube, you're on Facebook. Please share the live, like the live. Let's get it out there, okay? So that way we have more people hearing what we have to say. All right, apparently the best way to start, of course, is to read the description. Now, this, of course, is a video on the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel, of course, is Pusui Ori. So when we're done here, you can always visit the YouTube channel to see more videos and also learn more stuff. But it's good to be on TikTok, right? So this is our primary studio, studio as an app studio, like I like to say. All right, so let's get into this. Again, the title, as you can see, is Why Yoruba Said No to Azikiwe 1951, The Untold Story. And this is on the heels of a particular narrative that is springing up. And I think maybe the best thing to do is, okay, what I'm going to do is this, right? Give me a second. I'm going to read the description. Then I'm going to play you a video, one of the videos that's trending. 1 second, please. All right, one of the trending videos on this topic of Yoruba did this. Again, some people are used to constantly being the victim and, blaming others for the predicament. But yeah, I mean, agenda must agenda. Anyway, so this, so somebody had put this video out about how Yoruba people did not do something for someone. Just give me a second. I'd like to quickly find it, and then I'll play it. While we're getting this sorted, please power tap and share the live on all platforms. Thank you very much. If you're on YouTube, just double tap on the screen, and that's where you've liked the live. If you're on TikTok especially, we need to power tap because we are the host and we don't want to lose the live session. All right. I'm trying to find on ball. Even I need to share this thing, the YouTube stuff. Okay, I'll do it once I'm done with this one. Almost there, please. All right, found it. One ball. So I'm gonna read the description, the YouTube video, and then I'll play you something, and then we'll go to the video itself. All right, I think that would be a lot better. Okay, so let's get into it. And thank you, Considium Proventus, and everyone, please let's be like Considium. Let's like the live. It helps a lot. All right. You know, if you're joining us for the first time, we usually do this for the first 1 or 2 minutes. We try to share the live so that folks will be able to see it while scrolling on the platform. So it's a bit awkward now because I'm not on camera, but it's normal. But we're good now. All right, so let's get into this. Again, we're discussing why Yoruba said no to Azikiwe in 1951, the untold story. There's a narrative flying around on social media. It claims that Yoruba people are tribalistic because Azikiwe was not allowed to lead the Western region in 1951. The story goes that we refused to vote for him out of tribalism. But here's the thing. Azikiwe actually won a seat in Lagos and represented the area in the Western Region Parliament in Ibadan. If Yoruba were truly tribalistic, how did he win in Lagos, a Yoruba stronghold? Now let us think carefully. From 1938 to 1951, Azikiwe openly preached the supremacy of his ethnicity. He fought against Yoruba people having a Yoruba organization in Yoruba land, while he proudly led the Igbo equivalent in the same land. For years, he fueled anti-Yoruba narratives, showed no respect for Yoruba identity, and then suddenly wanted to become the leader of Yoruba land in 1951. To the Yoruba who quickly swallowed these false narratives, ask yourself, would you hand over leadership of your people to someone who spent 13 years pushing bigotry, clannishness, and Igbo supremacy in your face? Yoruba wisdom has always been about protecting our heritage and leading with clarity. That decision in 1951 was not tribalism, it was discernment. Now I'd like to play you the video, one of the videos trending, and then I'm going to play the video why Yoruba said no, in a bit. So here's one of those people who have chosen to do the work of the accuser of the brethren. It's clearly he's Igbo, no surprises there. And he's spreading propaganda, no surprises there as well. Now it's taking a while to come up, so please give it a second.
Let's look at a little bit of history. You know, when Azikiwe came back from the United States, he started his politics in Lagos. He gained ground a lot and actually controlled the politics in Lagos. Then when Awolowo came back from the United Kingdom, Awolowo was looking for a foothold, what to lean on, how to form his own basis. And he brought in tribalism in politics. He now told the Yorubas, why should an Igbo man come and be this and be that? And that was how tribalism started in politics in Nigeria. Then that 1951 debacle in the Western House, where Zeke was going to be the premier of Western region. But overnight, there was cross-carpet, and he lost out. That done. Remember then, in 1949, an Hausa man was elected the mayor of Enugu, Umaru Atine, the mayor of Enugu. An Hausa man was elected in Onitsha, for Onitsha province, as the representative in the House of Chiefs. A Yoruba man was elected in Port Harcourt as the mayor of Port Harcourt. His deputy was Mark Ibu, an Igbo man. So things were going very well. Then recently, you just have this paranoia. Man doesn't give a damn who is where, especially if there is efficiency. The man is individualistic, and the individualistic person is usually proficient, usually creative, usually productive. So if he sees a productive person, he works with that person, no matter where the person comes from. Let's look at a little bit of history. You know, when Azikiwe came back from the United
While I'm waiting for the YouTube video to come up, it's important for me to quickly say something. What you just listened to from that man is nothing but a pack of lies. The idea that Awolowo used tribalism and all that nonsense is what people would say when they're trying to push an agenda. The truth of the matter is that the person who introduced tribalism into Nigerian politics, video itself, I hope it helps us understand more. And then if I need to say any other thing after the video, I will come up to say it. But let me also remind us that this video has two parts. The first one is what you're going to listen to right now. It's about 34 minutes. And then the second part is shorter, I think about 20 minutes thereabouts. So if there's any break, it's because we're trying to move from one part to another. Okay? So let's get into the first one. Why Yoruba said no to Azikiwe in 1951. Please power tap while you listen, and if you're on YouTube, please like the live while you listen. Thank you. And okay, there are some people on social media right now who go around saying that Yoruba people are tribalistic. They didn't allow Zik to become premier. Meanwhile, we won election. We allowed a Fulani person to become a mayor in Enugu in the 1950s. If you're Yoruba here, this is what this is your response. See that 1951. I think it's important for Yoruba to actually know this thing. It's simple, but sometimes you may just forget. But we won't forget after today. 1951 election, Zik actually won. Without winning an election in Lagos, Zik would not be thinking of becoming the leader of government in Ibadan. And let's repeat it. Let me repeat it again. Let me repeat it. The election of 1951, Zik actually ran for an office in Lagos, and he to represent that constituency in the Western Region Parliament in Ibadan. And Zik won. Who voted for him? So when you hear things like we had in Enugu, there was Altine, who was a Fulani man, and it's true, who was a mayor of Enugu. It wasn't about federal capital, it was to represent that Lagos area, because that part of Lagos, until 1954, there was no capital territory. That part of Lagos was part of Western Region. So Zik was in the house to represent Yoruba people, or to represent Lagos, that area in Lagos. He won. If we are so tribalistic, how did he win? Did he import people from Igbo land? Did he import people from Igbo land? He won. However, because he's the Lord and Savior of certain people, we're supposed to allow him to become the leader of government business in Yoruba land or in Western Region. I know what, at this point, I'd like to read what he had to say about that election, because a lot of people have said nonsense, but right now, I'm not going to read that wall. Let me quickly read some to you. I hope I can quickly find that book. Mumbo. I want to read to you what Zeke said about that election. When they said, Yoruba people did not let him win. He won. He couldn't win more than one seat, and he won that seat. And he couldn't form government without the majority, which he did not have. So this is my Odyssey. This is Zeke's own autobiography. It was published in 1970. And this is what Zeke had to say. Towards the end of 1951, I stood for another election, this time to the Western House of Assembly as a representative of Lagos. Again, please, don't say I just talk. They hear what's in the talk for himself. In talk say election, this time to the Western House of Assembly. I know you know these things, but I want to make sure that we are together. Please, anybody knows where the Western House of Assembly was situated or located? Anybody, please write in the comment section. Let's have this short interaction. Anyone? Where was this Western House of Assembly? Thank you. Thank you. Ibadan. This is not Ikoyi or Balinde, Ibadan. So let me start again. Again, this is Zeke, right? Towards the end of 1951, I stood for another election, this time to the Western House of Assembly, as a representative of Lagos under the Macpherson Constitution, and I topped the poll. It did not top the poll, by the way. I think that was Olorun Nimbe. But the point is, he won. He won. Zeke won in Lagos to represent Lagos in Ibadan, and he won. The NC, now this is the part that is crazy. This one is the crazy part. The NCNC was under the impression that it had won the election with 43 members out of 80. Have you ever, in your adult life, heard a politician say, we were under the impression that we won? Some of these things, talk about fuck and see, or come and sleep away. What do you mean you were under the impression that you won? In other words, you're not saying you won. You're not even saying that you lost. You are saying you are under the impression that you won. Who speaks like this? One group, 2023, top to bottom, the one that carry pop-up bowls to the court. Everybody is always under the impression. We were under the impression that, the NCNC was under the impression that it had won the election with 43 members out of 80. As it turned out, 20 of the legislators who were known or regarded as NCNC members or supporters or sympathizers decided to align themselves with another party. Lie. That's why I said it's a painful thing when I read books by Igbo elders. It's painful. It's painful. And I'm not even Igbo. I'm not Igbo, but it's painful. And I'll tell you why it's painful. It's painful because, let me read to you again what he said and think about it. If anybody in his right mind will write let me know. Just think about what he has to say. He says, 20 out of the legislators were known